president of Akufo-Addo, and the wife, Rebecca, Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo, the first lady. See President Akufo-Addo filing past the body. Coffee Day. It's been a very solemn day, and today is going to be the day for the leadership of this country. President and the wife in to pay their last respect. How do you look at this and how does this reflect and build the image of Ghana?
Well, it's one of the respects. Former president who passed away 2 months ago, so he's doing what has to be done, and accompanied by his wife and members of his team. So they've done what is expected of them, and we are glad for that.
We're glad. So this is how beautiful the whole builds on the Republic of Ghana. The former president was the first of the Fourth Republican Constitution, the first president of the Fourth Republic, and President Akufo-Addo is the fifth president of the Fourth Republic. So the fifth is now paying due respect to the first president of the Fourth Republic. And the Fourth Republic has been the institution that has given us a very stable democracy. Stable democracy. This is something, and in the past we always talk about checkered political history. But this time, I think that word checkered political history, it's something that we'll have to start learning to do away with.
It's quite symbolic that the Fourth Republic was ushered in by a man who has been intimately involved in the history of the country. Some would say for the wrong reasons, because of what happened in 1979, which brought down a military government, and then in 81, which curtailed the Third Republic. But the irony and the enigma and the mystery is that the same person who was behind the May 15th insurrection was an integral part of June 4th, 79 and December 31st, 81, is the same person who transformed to become a democratic leader and served for 2 terms, duly elected. And then after his second term, he did what most people did not expect him to do. He did not perpetuate himself in power. He just handed over. And his party even lost that election in 2000, which is an oddity in most parts of the world, where how can you be in power for so long and then your party loses an election? It's not done. And there are a lot of countries in Africa which go by that rule, that you can't be in power for that long and lose. Yes, but that's the way things happen in Ghana, and events conspired to bring us to this point where we are celebrating almost 30 years of this democracy. Next year it'll be up to 30 years of the 92 Constitution. And Ms. Rawlings played a big part in it. And it's only befitting that we pay respect to him, not just as a fallen president, but also somebody who was a big part of this country's history.
Right. Lieutenant Nunate, if you look at the whole scenario, so peaceful, so beautiful, because you people are in charge. I say you people, and I tell you, the military in charge. Now you see how orderly the place is, and everything's space, so cameras can even take shots. And I know you people by this time, you're happy that we are in charge of an order. And are you happy that we are seeing what is extremely wonderful and beautiful?
The professionalism of the service, how we work hand in hand, how we contribute to make events come together.
No, let me rudely interrupt you and now announce the arrival of His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. He is now arriving, and he will be accompanied by, he will be here with a wife, Samira Bawumia, to pay their respect to the late President Jerry John Rawlings. So we're now seeing the arrival of His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Bawumia. Kafui, it looks as if you look at the program for today, the President at 9 a.m., and then from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., this is what is going to happen. The President comes in, and just as the President had left, the Vice President had come. It looks as if this is demonstrating quality, demonstrating time.
Yeah, it's we shouldn't. You see, the sad thing is that we get surprised when things happen on time, which shouldn't be the case. I know circumstances where people are described as, oh, you're not Ghanaian just because you arrived somewhere on time. That should not be the case. It should be normal for things to happen on time. The President was expected to be here at 9, and he was here even before 9. Yeah, it's just a few minutes past 9 o'clock, and everything is going like clockwork. So we can plan. We know what is happening. President and First Lady to come. We now have the Vice President and the Second Lady. We are expecting to see former presidents and their spouses next. So we are just following schedule. And this should be the norm. We shouldn't get excited that things happen on time. Yes. In fact, in some countries like Japan, Germany, people have been known to resign for coming to, in Japan, a train arrived a couple of seconds late, and the CEO of the train company resigned because the train arrived a couple of seconds later.
A typical Ghanaian would say, "This man is not serious.
Yeah,
why do I leave my way because the train was late?
Was I the one piloting the train?
No,
that's the kind of question to ask. But you see, sticking to time it shows respect for another person. If you give the person 9 and you get there at 9, it shows respect. So that's the Vice President acknowledging the presence of the family.
We used putting our palm in your, and now because of COVID, now everybody is folding his arms, and brother is afraid of brother.
I say the finger snap is now extinct. The Ghanaian finger.
Yes.
Where you snap
yes,
it's extinct.
It's gone.
I don't know the last time I shook anybody
and I don't think it's going to come.
We are now Japanese bowing. Yeah, Chinese, we're bowing. Yeah. So it's in and out. And it's a Vice President.
Spending any long time in the room, you quickly need to walk out, and because COVID is telling us that when you stay in an enclosed, air-conditioned room, you can transmit COVID in a faster. Now he's leaving, and immediately after he leaves, I know the next person that is going to come will follow him immediately. So Kafui, who is the next? The next person coming in?
Well, according to our schedule.
Yes.
Former presidents and their spouses.
Yes.
Then the secretary to
and then from 11 to 11:30, we're expecting the Chief Justice, former Chief Justices, and Justices of the Supreme Court, followed by former Chairman and former members of the Council of State, and then former Ministers of State. So everything has been, there's an order of precedence that has been determined. And so number 1, of course, is the President. And then, his Vice, and then the former President. Everything has been determined by the standard of protocol. We're just following it, that's all.
And this is real demonstration of protocol, because if you look at it, I don't think maybe the President, people might be imagining, is the President staying next door to the Vice President? So when he's going to say, brother, I'm taking the lead. So brother follows up. But here it's an indication that this is a country, this is a program, this is a planned activity, and so therefore it has been planned in such a way. So we should be expecting to see the next guest come in the next few minutes.
Yeah, and it's also a demonstration of communication, because you've got to have the traffic coordinated in such a way that Nobody has to wait. You realize that the
And
police.
next guest is arriving.
Next guest is arriving. Everything is choreographed. It's like a choreography. Yeah. So people are communicating. Walkie-talkies are chattering left, right, and center. Everybody is coordinating, and it's beautiful.
In military terms, we'll say they've RV'd at a particular point.
Okay.
Meaning they've rendezvoused at a particular point,
There you
and
go.
then you arrive one after the other.
Indeed.
So, the next person we're expecting to see here would have to be former presidents and their spouses. And so, if there's anything, then it means that in order of seniority, then you have to be former President John Agyekum Kufuor, and Miss Teresa Kufuor would have to come. Yes, John Agyekum Kufuor is now ready. I think he's down with his walking stick, majestically taking the strides. And I think in order to get everything done in good stead, I think he's going to use a wheelchair. Yes. So this is telling us that, you see, you can't cheat. Nature, I will grab it. Now look at him, the gentle giant that we used to call now is now in a wheelchair. That is life, and he's not going to pay his last respect.
I need to regulate this.
Facilities should be disability friendly. Because if it is not disability friendly, now a former president who cannot have the luxury of walking as he used to walk, now using a wheelchair, whether mechanized or manual, whatever, the fact is that he's using a wheelchair. If he's using a wheelchair and there is no access for this wheelchair, how can he come in and do this that the whole country decided to do? So it looks as if, as a people, we are not only supposed to make sure that the conference center looked at this. Looked at this. If we had
I don't see any ramps there. So, yeah.
And the gradient in front of the Parliament House,
Quite steep.
you can't use a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Because we are our brothers and sisters, disabled brothers and sisters, people hold space.
And he's exiting. The before once worked. DC as a local government secretary. And a colleague president. Former president, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is how.
And the man from whom he took over in 2001. Yeah. So.
And it's so instructive, and you can even see. But then what is missing here is that if president came age or other disease health conditions, so Madame Teresa is not worth former president. And this is what we face in life. So former President John Agyekum Kufuor was president from 2001, from January 7th, 2006, and then ended January 1st, 2010. That was when Professor John Evans Atta-Mills, the late Professor John Evans Fifi Atta-Mills, took over as the President of the Republic of Ghana.
President John Dramani Mahama, who according to the program should be following President Kufuor, who just left the premises of the conference center where former President Rawlings is being laid in state. Today is day 3 of the funeral service, and everything will be rounded off in the afternoon with traditional and customary rites scheduled to take place from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. Today we will end slightly earlier than we did, God willing, yesterday, and then tomorrow we shall move to day 4, which is the final day. And what do we have, Lieutenant Tay? From 8 o'clock, what is happening?
We'll have the filing past. This will be done by the family, the Chief of the Defense Staff, and the IGP, and heads of other security agencies, the former Chairman of the Council of State, the Chief of Staff, the Chief Justice, the Speaker of Parliament, former President John Akufo-Addo and spouse, if possible, former President John Dramani Mahama and spouse, the Vice President of the Republic and the Second Lady, visiting heads of state, the President of the Republic and the First Lady, and then the clergy before the service begins. That should be about 9:10 a.m.
And that is when we're getting closer to seeing the casket of the former president the last time. Then we would now have to admit and accept that we have finished with the funeral ceremony and we have committed his mortal remains to the ground. Then everything now starts from there, and we can now see the late former president is gone to the Maker.
And speaking of tomorrow's rites, we would like to entreat the general public as much as possible if they could watch the ceremony virtually rather than trooping to the Independence Square. We are all reminded that we are not in normal times, so we would like to entreat the general public to take this into consideration. And as mentioned before, the routes that the procession passes.
Yes, he was also a Deputy Minister of Communication. Yes, appointed by President Rawlings. Yes, and number 2 to Dr. Akufo-Addo, who we had a chance of interviewing yesterday. Yes.
So former president from 2013 to 2017, January 7th, 2013 to January 7th, 2017.
The brother of the former president is also paying his final respects to the late president, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama.
It's the face bump time. COVID face bump. Yeah, some of the bumps are done virtually. Yes, I saw the Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashi doing a virtual one. Yeah. So it's about the bump. Yeah.
That is the former president of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, the fourth of the fourth Republican Constitution from 2013 to 2017.
he also qualifies in a strange way as a former vice president as well.
Yes.
Yes, two in one row, you know.
Two in one row.
Yeah.
As one individual that had really experienced
All the levels, right?
all the levels. Has experienced all the levels.
I'm looking forward to
Yes.
that will be part of the procession. President Rawlings was elected without a rider.
Without a rider, and this, I think it's only our people who can do this one. There's a military, and they will tell you that you dare go wrong. So whoever is supposed to be in charge of this riderless horse would have to make sure that this horse behaves, and he would do it.
Obeys instructions, eh?
Yeah.
There will be a handler for it.
Definitely, yes, yeah.
And it's symbolic of his love for riding. And then it's also symbolic of the fact that I'll say it's a symbolic horse.
Yes.
That's why it's riderless.
Yes, because the rider is just passed.
The rider has passed. So the riding boots will be turned to face backwards to depict or show that the rider is no more. Yes, so the riding helmet, the riding jacket, the riding crop, all the riding accoutrements will also be placed in the saddle as the horse travels along. So viewers, as we have mentioned now, when you see the riderless horse in the procession tomorrow, this is what it means.
Presidents, yes, spouses of former Chief of Staff Honorable Frema Osayofara. She is now she is next, and we now move into the spouses of.
So that's the chief of staff doing her tour, filing past the body.
After the Chief of Staff, then we should be expecting to see the Secretary to the President, Secretary to the President, and that would be Nana Asante Bediatu.